Hello everyone, my name is Lurian Klein and I am a senior innovation developer at Cleanwatts in Portugal. So I'm here today to talk about empowering local communities for the energy transition. And I want to talk about how Cleanwatts is trying to pave this way in Portugal and across other geographies as well. So basically, since the publishing of the EU directive on renewable energy in 2019, which is commonly known as RED II, we have seen different EU member states transposing this directive into enabling legal frameworks in their respective countries. Of course, each of them transposing it with their own interpretation of the directive. And with that in mind, Cleanwatts established itself as a one-stop shop when it comes to conceptualizing, setting up, and managing renewable energy communities across different geographies. And we did that by developing the Cleanwatts operational system, which is basically one platform that is modular, interoperable, and localizable that allows us to implement renewable energy communities in different geographies and in different contexts. So the Cleanwatts operational system works both in front of the meter and behind the meter. So when we are talking about in front of the meter, we are talking about the management in real time of the energy community assets and the monetization of these assets in different markets, namely the flexibility market and wholesale energy market. And when we talk about behind of the meter, we are talking about the management of the assets within the renewable energy communities for the benefit of our clients. Namely, we are talking about energy efficiency measures and energy optimization in general. Not only that, but Cleanwatts also has developed a very robust business model that allows anyone who wants to join a renewable energy community with us to do so without any upfront investment. So if someone wants to join a renewable energy community with Cleanwatts as our main anchor client, who is basically the main prosumer in our renewable energy communities, apart from the zero upfront investment to get PV panels on their rooftops, these clients, they are able to benefit from savings of up to 60%. And whoever wants to join our renewable energy communities as a normal consumer can benefit from electricity that is approximately 30% cheaper than the electricity bought from the grid. And this is clearly a win-win situation for those who want to join an energy community. And this is clearly all managed by the Cleanwatts operational system. So here I want to talk a bit about the economics behind becoming an anchor client in our renewable energy communities, basically becoming the main prosumer in the Cleanwatts energy communities. So here it's important to make a comparison between becoming a prosumer in a renewable energy community versus the business as usual scenario, which would be installing PVs for self-consumption only. So in the business as usual scenario, our client would get savings of up to 26%. But by becoming a prosumer in our renewable energy community, apart from this 26%, there is an additional 8% of savings coming from enhanced self-consumption, an additional 11% coming from the selling of the surplus generation to the consumers from the renewable energy community, and an additional 15% from energy efficiency measures, which sums up to 60%. So this is also showcases how beneficial it is to become an energy community member with Cleanwatts. And here I want to showcase some real data from a real case study from a client in Portugal. I want to talk about this client who is an industrial manufacturer working for the construction sector. And basically this client came to us willing to join an energy community, willing to reduce its energy costs, to have more security of supply, and also to increase the consumption of renewables. So what we did is that we installed 630 kilowatt of PV capacity on the rooftop, And here it's important to say that whoever is becoming a prosumer in our renewable energy communities allows us to install a much a larger area of, we can use the rooftop to its full extension in order to have much more PVs installed. So indeed, we installed 630 kilowatt of PV capacity with a lease contract of 15 years. We also have to consider that PV panels usually have a lifespan of 25 to 30 years, meaning that even after the end of the lease contract, the client can still take advantage of the PV panels from many more years to come. And by doing so, by becoming a prosumer in our renewable energy communities, the client was able to, the self-consumed energy that it was getting from the PV panels was approximately 40% cheaper than the electricity bought from the grid. And the client also got an additional revenue stream by selling the surplus electricity to the community members, which is basically a revenue of 10 euros per megawatt hour of surplus electricity sold to the community. And of course, the client doesn't have to worry about anything during this process. The setting up of the community is all dealt by Cleanwatts. Also, the management, it's dealt with Cleanwatts operational system. And this is where it gets super interesting. So here are some data from June 2020, so last June. Only with the installation of the PV system, the client was able to save 33% in that energy bill. And it's important to frame here that this renewable energy community is not fully established yet, meaning that the surplus electricity is not even being sold yet to consumers from the renewable energy community. And these are the interesting facts. So during the entire duration of the lease contract, which is 15 years, the client can get from all of these measures that I just mentioned, so enhanced self-consumption, selling of surplus electricity to the community members, and energy efficiency measures. During the first 15 years of the lease contract, the client can get up to 340,000 euros of returns. This is an estimation, but it's around that, 340,000 euros. 10 years after the end of the lease contract, which is usually the total lifespan of the PV panels, the client can get an additional return of 750,000 euros, meaning that during the entire lifespan of the PV panel, just one anchor client could make 1.1 million euros of estimated returns. And this is an unprecedented opportunity if we consider that all sorts of stakeholders that have a large rooftop area can become a prosumer in our renewable energy communities. And here we are talking about city halls, schools, stadiums, firefighter officers, and you can name it. And we also have to consider that Europe alone has tens of thousands of municipalities. Just an example, Italy alone has 8,000 municipalities, 5,000 of them having less than 5,000 inhabitants. So the potential here is gigantic, and this is the field that we are trying to explore. Just some interesting stats about us. We are a company, a clean tech company based in Portugal. We operate in Europe, but not only, also in the US, Brazil, and Japan. We have a dedicated team of 80 people, and we are growing, and we have more than 2,000 active clients. And some interesting stats about Cleanwatts renewable energy communities. We have more than 100 in our pipeline right now, with more than 1,500 community members, with 17.5 megawatt power of total capacity, of installed capacity, and the average abatement of energy costs for our clients is 30%. So that's what I had to share with you. I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lurian. I will go straight to the Slido for one question because we are a little late. Do you think that your business model could be replicated to CEE region? Would anything change? Is specific legislation required?
Yes, so this is quite an interesting question. Yes, a specific legislation is required. We need enabling national legal frameworks in order to operate in any country. So what we have is that we, as I mentioned, we have a very modular, interoperable operational system that allows us to kind of get personalized to different geographies, different contexts. But of course, we do need first enabling legal frameworks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much, Lurian.
Thank you very much.